Living Sober. It is episode 464. Is it 464? Oh my gosh, you guys. Isn't that crazy? 464 episodes. I'm like sitting here I'm questioning myself. Do you ever do that? I like question myself all the time. Do you question yourself? You're like, wait a minute. Am I thinking this right? Is this correct? Oh my gosh. So here we go. Um, if you're here for the first time, welcome. So glad you're here. And by the way, my name's Elizabeth Chance, and it is episode 464. And it's Elizabeth Chance. I am the host of Busy Living Sober podcast, and I talk about sobriety, life, kids, marriage, politics, religion, and I think everything in between. So if you're here and you like what you hear, please click subscribe on either whatever you're watching this on. If you're on YouTube, if you're on iTunes, if you are on Spotify. So you guys might be listening and going, okay, there's been stuff going on. I don't know. This is the deal. I switched. I actually went with this different conglomerate that has a bunch of different podcasts with it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do it because guess what? Control freak. I can admit it, control freak. And I didn't understand what they were doing. And it was on this other platform and there was commercials all the time. And I'm like, wait a minute, who's getting the proceeds from these commercials? I'm not. So I don't want to do this. So today I took it all back and it's all going through Buzzsprout. So I hope that everything is going to work out all right and that that you're going to get this in your inbox and there won't be any problems like there has been in the last couple of episodes. And again, I apologize because I take my work totally seriously and it is just me. And I go and I upload it and I want to make sure that it goes into your inbox every Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. and every Monday morning at 6 a.m., just like my newsletter. If you want my newsletter, that will come into your inbox on Fridays. And you can go to elizabethchance.com or busylivingsober.com and it will give you a prompt to sign up for my newsletter. So again, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Subscribe. Don't forget. Oh, by the way, I'm also on Patreon. So go to www.patreon.com/busy living sober and you can become a member. So, what a weekend. I went to Austin, Texas. As you guys know, well, those of you that watch me on social media for sure know, I have a herniated disc and a bulging disc in my back. And I'm recording this on Tuesday and I'm going to the doctor this afternoon. I cannot wait to hear what they have to say because I had to go see a chiropractor who was fabulous, by the way. If anybody needs a chiropractor in Austin, Texas, let me know. He was great. The guy I went to was really amazing. But being uncomfortable is not fun, is it? It's kind of like feelings, not fun, right? And when we know we're not winning, we want to quit. Isn't that fun? Not right. So great. We're living in the craziest of times, the craziest of times. And I'm trying to stay above and trying not to go too deep down. And I'm trying to just appreciate life and knowing that I've got to look at the positive. And with this back pain, it's really hard because you're like, what is going on with me? I wanted to go to the hospital when I got to Austin. I'm like, there's something wrong with me. But I got adjusted and my doctor had given me medication. And because of being an alcoholic, let's just be honest, I don't like taking that kind of stuff. But and none of it's mind altering. I take prednisone and ibuprofen, 800 milligrams, but I know what that does to your liver. And I'm like, I'm not crazy about taking it, but I've been taking it as it was directed and I do feel better, but my back is definitely in pain. And is there anything worse than back pain? I don't think so. But it's been a week. It's been a week. And since I was on here and I could believe on Sunday that we got notification that Joe Biden was stepping down as the presidential candidate. And I went on Instagram. I didn't get a ton of likes, which was okay, but I went on Instagram because I just think we're living in such a world where 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. And as somebody who's like pretty transparent, pretty authentic, and I really pride myself on my authenticity and I really pride myself on who I am. I remember when I was younger, a child even that was like, I remember my grandfather saying, like, your name is all you really have in this world. It's all you have. You don't have anything else. You can have a job, you can have all this other stuff, but your name is really all that matters. And you should really cherish that. And I did that with my children as well. It would be like, oh my gosh, when you walk out of this house, remember you're walking around as my children, and you better act like that. And they were like, we get it, mom, we get it. So here we are at this precipice of all these crazy things happening. The president of the United States is almost assassinated. The head of the Secret Service was told everybody to stand down for 26 minutes. So they obviously really wanted to kill the president, which is so crazy. Then on Monday, the head of the Secret Service went and was being asked questions by Congress members, and she couldn't answer any of the questions. Even one said to her, like, you're an asshole, which I totally agree with her. I thought she had some chutzpah to say that. I'm like, yes, finally somebody's speaking up for us. And then today being Tuesday, um, she has stepped down. The woman that was head of the Secret Service. It's like crazy, you guys. And then Joe Biden stepping down in the race, and we haven't seen him in days. He just sent a message through Twitter that he was quitting the race. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? 2 + 2 does not equal 4. What the heck is going on? I mean, where is he? Where is he? I mean, I know that more people voted for that president than anybody ever before, and we never saw him during that campaign really either. Let's face it, he was in the basement somewhere. And now Kamala Harris is going to be the president on the Democratic side? Really? Okay. I hope that no, if you are a Democrat, great. But I hope you're going to do research. That's all I can say. I hope you're going to do your own research. I hope you're not just going to look at one thing, which I have to look at all different things in my life, and I have to see what's right and what's wrong. And it's really been challenging in a lot of ways in life because the president of the United States is losing so desperately to Donald J. Trump, our former president, and so then they quit. And I can't imagine if I had to have that example for my kids. Like, we just quit. We're losing. We're going to quit. I understand if he's sick or if he isn't even alive. I mean, it was so crazy because I talked to you guys I actually wrote about it. And I don't know if I really talked about it, but on the 4th of July, we didn't do anything because we had the dogs. And again, my back had started hurting then. And I was like, I can't go sit somewhere. My back's killing me. So we just sat on the couch and we watched 2 movies. We watched The American President and we watched Dave. And I feel like, are we in the movie Dave? Where's Joe Biden anyway? Is he really anywhere? Where is he? Like, does he have a body double? Is his brother appearing as him? What's going on? Where is he? What is going on? And I remember that I took a class, a health and wellness course, which I loved. And my teacher was based in Amsterdam. And they were talking about how things were going to become more and more transparent as time goes on. Like, we were going to see more things that we had seen than ever before. Like, the veil was going to be lifted. Like, Oz, who was hanging, The Wizard of Oz, one of my favorite movies of all time. But The Wizard of Oz, everybody was like so scary. He's like, and I am the Wizard of Oz. And then, Toto runs back there and finds out that it's actually this man standing in a little room in front of a computer going, I am the Wizard of Oz. And it was all just smoke and mirrors. And here we are in a life full of smoke and mirrors. But when you get sober, or when I got sober, it was all about transparency. I mean, for so long, I was hiding everything, right? Like, I'm hiding, where's my drinking? I'm trying to keep myself together as a person that drank a lot. I didn't really try to hide myself, to be honest. I mean, I drank at every party and I was a bar drinker. And I know there's a lot of people isolated at home, but I was out in the open. Everybody saw me. Everybody knew what I was doing. Everybody knew when I would fall down. Everybody would know, my family members especially would be able to see it. And so when I was like, okay, here it is, I remember raising my hand and going, guess what? The gig is up. I am an alcoholic. I need help. I got to get some help. I got to change this way I've been acting. I am not the head of the PTA. I am definitely a woman who likes to go home and down some cocktails because I can't deal with my feelings. So I did. And in the past almost 18 years that I've done this, I've realized that I am all about the transparency. I am all about being authentic. I am all about telling the truth. And if you can't tell the truth, then don't say anything, right? As they used to say, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you can't tell the truth, don't say anything at all, right? But I feel like as time keeps moving forward, so many things, so many veils have been lifted. So many veils. We're like, okay, Donald Trump was supposed to be assassinated. He turned his head. God only knows why. God only knows why he wasn't shot. Why that all happened, maybe we will find out. I think we might. I think that today it's the craziest thing is that society wanted so badly to have these cell phones and these towers and the social media and cameras and phones and all the rest of this stuff. And the reality is, when you open up Pandora's box with all this stuff, with the ability for any human being to have a camera, any human being able to record, being able to record themselves, any human being to be able to be their own reporter, and there's cameras everywhere, it's going to be hard to keep the veil down. I mean, how many people still believe what they watch on the news? I don't think many do. I think hardly anybody does. I think everybody does their own research now. I think everybody thinks that everybody else is full of shit and trying to sell them something. Excuse my French, by the way. But it's nice to be honest, isn't it? It's nice to be not ashamed. And it's nice to know, like, you have to be transparent. I think our forefathers thought that from the very beginning. When the people got on a ship from England to come to the new land, besides the Native Americans that have been here a lot longer, but the English and the Scottish and the Irish and everybody from Europe that came over here on those boats, they wanted a new world. They wanted a place where they could pray and they could be and believe whatever they wanted to believe, and that every human being has rights. And they built this White House and they made a president to be in charge of everything. But that president was supposed to be able to talk to any human being here on this earth, right? Like, not here on this earth, here in this United States of America. So if you had a problem, you could go walk over to George Washington at the White House and say, guess what? I have a problem and I need to talk to you about it. And there wasn't a line out the door, I don't think. But I think that, we should be able to get answers when we're looking for answers. As taxpayers, we should be able to hear the answers for the questions that we have, and we shouldn't be lied to. So when we're paying somebody a lot of money to be the head of the Secret Service and they ask like pretty benign questions, and the woman couldn't answer the questions, I was kind of like, wow, who's got her tongue? Because she's got the answers to these questions. I mean, let's face it. I mean, she's not that stupid. She got this job. She's obviously somewhat educated and somewhat capable. And when they ask her point blank questions, she can't answer them. We're not dealing with 2-year-old that just stole candy out of the candy box. We're dealing with adults, you guys. And what I have to say is that I really believe that transparency and authenticity is where it all begins with everything, especially being somebody in long-term sobriety and someone that wants to have people that are going to respect them. I mean, I respect myself. I really should start with that. I respect myself now. I don't have to look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, what did I do last night? What did I say last night? Who did I hurt last night? I don't have to do that anymore. It's kind of amazing. And when you can hold your head high and you don't have to hide, it's freedom. It's what we call freedom in the United States of America, is be able to talk. I've been doing this podcast for now. Wow, it's going to be 8 years. And I really feel like I'm going to start August 1st. It's going to be season 8. I'm going to make it season 8 for the 8th year. So season 8 starts in August. And, I think back of what I've been doing, and I've got to really totally transparently take myself off of watching the numbers of how many people are watching and all that, because I did it for a long time and it didn't behoove me whatsoever to be watching my numbers. I just want to hear from you guys. That's my big thing, is I want to hear from listeners that you relate to what I'm saying, or you don't relate to what I'm saying and you don't like what I'm saying. So if you just respond or reach out to me, I promise I'll reach back to you. It's It's kind of funny. I'm gonna go back a little bit. So yesterday I was at the Austin airport and I had such a great time with Henry and Alyssa. They're just amazing couple and I'm just so proud of them and they're like doing it. They're doing life and he's about to start his PhD, my son at University of Texas Austin and what wow. Wow. I mean, I think about it and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how blessed am I to have a son that's going to get his PhD." It's like, I can't even believe it. And we all sit here and we don't want to brag about ourselves and we don't want to say things like, oh my gosh, look what my kid's doing. I don't want to brag about it. But I'm going to brag. I'm like really proud of him. And I think back to what he was 6 when I got sober. So to think that he had a sober mommy he is um and now he is I just lost my camera, by the way, you guys. I'm back on my computer. As I just mentioned, I've been traveling. So here we go. Most people just listen to me anyway. But so I'm so proud of him. And I think to myself, oh my gosh, my son had a drunk mom for a long time till he was 6. And then I got sober. And now, I mean, his life is just amazing. I mean, he's got an amazing place, the two of them that they just love and they've made it the way they want it and it's so cute and charming and it's in this great little neighborhood and they can walk to the restaurants, they can walk and get coffee, they can walk, it's safe and I'm just thrilled and I'm so proud of him and I'm so proud of her and I'm just so it's a lot to be excited about. But it was interesting. So I'm talking to somebody in the airport. Surprise, surprise. I'm talking to a stranger in the airport. Everybody knows I've made friends there. I've made a lot of friends actually through airports. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to this guy. And we were talking about just how much fun Austin is and the food's amazing, all different creative food things that go on there. And he's like, oh my gosh. And I don't know. All of a sudden I just said, well, I have a podcast. He's like, you do? And I'm like, yeah, it's called Busy Living Sober. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go check it out. And he goes, wait a minute, are you sober like from like everything? And I'm like, yes, I am. I'm sober from everything. He's like, wow, wow. And I said, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like the best thing I've ever done in my life is put down the drink and the drugs and everything else and just been 100% clear. He's like, that is so cool. And I'm like, yeah, it is really cool. And then whenever I start talking about this to strangers, I always bring up God because I really truly believe that I would not be sober if it weren't for God. So, it's God behind the entire thing. So I said, it's so crazy. And he was like, what? And I said, I have realized that it's 100% God. And when I am awake, like I have been for a long time now, when I am awake, I can see God working in my life and in other people's lives. And his eyes just got really big. He's like, really? And I'm like, yes, because I don't believe in coincidences. I see God's winks, and I'm winking at you if you're not watching this on YouTube, and I'm winking. I see God's winks everywhere. Like you heard about, I watched the Republican National Convention last week, and wow, so many amazing things. So many. I was like, wow, look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. I mean, just little winks everywhere we looked. I mean, to watch Don Jr.'s daughter, Donald J. Trump's granddaughter, Kai, who's a big golfer, which of course you guys know I love that because I'm a huge golfer. Nothing like her. But to see that little girl get up and say, I'm going to stand up and talk in front of all these people. Wow. Was that amazing or what? Just amazing. Just amazing. The fact that her grandfather lived, I mean, amazing. That it was amazing to see, like amazing. It was like to say, if he hadn't turned his head just slightly, that would have happened. And to be able to see the beautiful things that are going on in this world are such a gift, such a gift. To there was a lot of Austin's a big city. So I hadn't hung out in a big city in a long time. And was, I don't want to say in shock. Yeah, I'm going to say I was in shock. I was in shock in the beginning of like all the people that are just like in different places. I'm just going to say the mental illness that's everywhere. And it's everywhere. And especially there was a lot of mental illness. And my first reaction to mental illness, unfortunately, and I'm just telling you guys the truth because that's how I roll, but it's like to run away or to judge and be like, oh my God, look at that person. I'm going to tell you guys a crazy thing. And I pray I don't offend anybody, but I was in I was in Costco. Um, and I was with, again, my son and my husband, and we were just going to get stuff that you have to get when somebody moves into a new place, paper towels, the plates, all this stuff. And in walks this gentleman, and he's a man. He's totally a man with a man's haircut, I think facial hair. And he had on hot pink Lululemon shorts. Okay, like we're shorts like women wear. Like if I don't wear the shorts, by the way, I only wear the skirts because I don't like to show my legs. But anyway, he was wearing the shorts, the really, really tight biker shorts. All of his stuff is showing, by the way, because he's a guy. And he has on a t-shirt, and then he has a pink bow in his short boy haircut. Like his hair was not long. It was a short, like crew cut, like you would have if you were like worked, I don't know, like a guy going to work, any guy, but with the bow in his hair, a bow right here. And then all of his fingernails were painted different colors. And at first I was like, oh my God, does he know what a woman is? He's not a woman. I'm a woman. I got boobs, I got hips, I got curves, I've got all that stuff. Um, and that's not a woman. And I'm sitting there going, I can have a baby. I've had 3 babies. So um, I was so, I wanted to walk up to him and be like, I just want you to know you're not a girl. Just because you put a bow in your hair, you're not a girl. Just because you're wearing lycra does not mean you're a girl. Just because you painted your fingernails does not mean you're a girl. I understand you want to wear pretty clothes like a girl, but does anybody want to see that stuff in somebody's like literally like little kids scene? I just think no, 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 no. I wanted to walk up to him. I did not. I was just kind of very disgusted. And as the days wore on while I was there, I started to get a softness about me, and I started to get an understanding about me that I wanted to change because I'm always wanting to change. And as I mentioned, I think it wasn't last week, and it was a week before, I mentioned when I talked to my sponsor, and she said, you're not chained, you're changing. And, I watched these people, and I've been really practicing, opening my heart. I really want to open my heart. I've always been one to be more judgmental than I want to be. And I need to open my heart. 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 And when I open my heart, I don't want to yell at these people and say, oh my gosh, don't you know you're not a girl and I'm a girl and you're not a girl. I don't need to do that. All I need to say is God bless them. God bless them. And I've done that. And that's just what I say. God bless them. And the mental illness that's been going on in our country for at least the past 4 years, especially, it's been really sad. And I don't want to judge them, and I don't want to put people down, and I don't want to be like, oh my God, you're not this, you're not that. It's not my job to do that. They all have a God and it's not me. And getting to this point of like just looking at them and praying is all I can do. And to take that one step further. So as you guys know, I mean, I am a Republican and I love Trump and I love Melania. I think she's absolutely beautiful and I think she's a stunning, first lady, and she really keeps to herself in a lot of ways. And she lets him do what he needs to do and she does what she wants to do. And that's how their marriage works. And I appreciate that. And so there was no pictures of her on social media. So I put a picture of her up on social media this weekend, and so people that don't like her put up there, certain things, and I said, I don't care what you think. It's what I want on my page, and I'll take down your comment because that's my right as a person, and I don't want your comments and your negativity on my picture that I think is pretty and that I support. So I delete everyone. And it was written on there point blank. If you post on here and I don't like it, I can delete it. It's my prerogative. It's my page, right? So this person wrote to me and they're like, I don't want to be on your podcast. Take your podcast down that you did of me, which was years ago. I don't even know how many people listen to it and it doesn't even matter. But I said, of course I will. If you don't want to be on my platform, I get it. I appreciate it. I can understand that. So I deleted it. And I said, I wish you all the best and God bless you. And the person said back to me, there is no God. God does not exist. Whew. Ah, do I have to be angry? No. I just have to pray for that person because there are people living in darkness around us, you guys. There are people that don't see the light. There are people that don't believe. And all I can do is pray for them. I can't change them. I am not the police officers of the world. I am not here to judge. I am not God. I don't know what goes on in your house. You don't know what goes on in my house. None of us knows. And all we can do is love and support each other. We are living through the craziest of times. So all I can say is I want to support you no matter what you are, no matter what you believe. I send you good thoughts. We don't have to break bread. We don't have to be best friends. All I can say is that I'm praying for you. It doesn't have to be about me. I don't need to be your judge. I don't need to be your jury. That happens, I think, at the end of our lives. I think that at the end of our lives, our souls go to heaven, and I think that God is there to judge, not me. And that gives me a peace of mind. So when I make my choices, like I was talking about earlier today, and being okay with it, with me being authentic, I have to be authentically go, Elizabeth, it's none of your business if that person wants to walk around in Lycra and a hair bow and everything else. It's not for me to judge. Would I move right there to that area? Probably not. I probably wouldn't want to live right there. But it's everybody's got to do what's them. But to show love and compassion instead of judgment and hate is what we need to do today. It's coming together and loving one another and going, I get that they're mentally ill. When I was in my active addiction, I was mentally ill. There's no question about it. I made choices I would never make if I were sober. I made a lot of choices I would not have made. Sitting here 18 years later, I can say I've learned a lot and I'm constantly still learning. Life is a journey. It isn't a destination. And when we go and we decide to change, we're always going to have to keep pulling layers back and layers. While we are on this planet, we will always try, at least I will always strive to be better, do better, and share with my listeners that you can too. Love and kindness, light, that is where it's at, not in judgment, not in fear, not in being scared, not having anxiety. It's in love. And sometimes you just have to take your shoulders, roll them up, let them go, and say, it's not my problem. Good luck. God bless. The only thing that was my problem was what came in my door, my kids. Now they're launched. They get to do them. It's not my thing anymore. They get to make their own choices. It's not me. I already did my job. Now it's just about me figuring out how I can be a better Elizabeth, so I can be a better wife, a better mom, hopefully one day a grandmother, and just try each day. That's all for me today. I am going to head to the doctor and see what they say about my back. And I'll be back next Wednesday. You'll just have me. And until then, I'll have a newsletter out. So if you want to go find out what's going on with my back, go sign up for my newsletter. I'm going to talk all about it. It'll come out on Friday, right into your inbox. So go sign up. Go to elizabethchance.com. or busylivingsober.com. Both of them will take you right there. And again, sign up for my newsletter, come right into your inbox. And again, if you like today's episode, please subscribe to my channel. And it comes out, drops every Monday and Wednesday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's also on my YouTube channel. So that's all I have today. And until next time, everybody, keep getting busy, living sober. Thanks for listening to me. I send you all love. I send you all warm, warm wishes, light. And I hope you also can get one more day busy living sober, getting busy living sober. And again, share this with your friends, share this with your family. And if you don't like it, send me a note. I don't care. As I told you the other day, somebody sent me a bunch of notes telling me they didn't like it. It's okay. I can handle it. And until next time, everybody, keep getting busy, living sober. Take care. Bye.